I've been through, periods where, you're working 18 hours a day because that's whatever it takes. Because I know that I am the breadwinner and I need to provide. And, it's like, I want to spend time with my kids, but do I want to spend time with my kids in a lovely home, or do I want to spend time with them in a homeless shelter? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Did you have any sort of challenges? Because obviously you've been in a partnership, and I was talking to somebody yesterday, and one of the big things were, Jay, my partner, is on my case. I'm trying to get there, I'm trying to get started, but my partner doesn't always understand, that entrepreneur mindset. So, have you ever been in a situation where you've struggled or had that challenge where maybe your partner or your family, mum, dad, or people around you haven't always really fully understood the level of commitment that is required for you now to get to where it is that you are now?
Yeah, I'll explain it in this way. So I heard this from Alex Hormozy, so shout out to him. And he said that in a relationship, there's two dynamics, right? You're either in the playing field and your partner's on the sidelines cheering you on, or actually three. Actually, I'm going to add my own third one. You're either in the playing field, on the battlefield, and your partner's on the sidelines cheering you on, or you're both in the playing field. Now, if you're on the sidelines cheering that person on, you will never, ever experience the same level of emotion, anxiety. You won't go through, you won't understand, and you won't fully appreciate what goes into being in the playing field, on the battlefield. So trying to get your partner involved as much as possible is what I would say, so that you're both in the playing field, okay? Because then they'll actually start to appreciate, wow, I didn't realize this is all you got to do. Wow. Then they have a new level of appreciation. And then you end up building together. I think you've got to build a shared vision, because a lot of times what happens with relationships is there's two visions, and one's going over this east and one's going west. But the third dynamic, and this is where, I see a lot of people, is the partner's in the battlefield, but the partner's in the car park. Nowhere to be seen. And they're like, yeah, I'm just going to go and play this game. And because there's such a big disconnect, they're in a car park. They have no idea what's going on the game. So the key is to have shared vision, shared goals, shared aspirations of where you want to go. And don't kid yourself. Oh, yeah, one day when our numbers come up, yeah, we'll get there. You've got to really, work on it together. Okay. That's what I would say. You've got to, I think if you don't have a shared vision, shared goals, shared that destination that you're striving towards, it's going to be very difficult, because your partner, and this works both ways. This isn't, just any one way. This works both ways. So you got to find that shared vision.
Okay, cool. So have you ever, or no doubt you probably have, experienced maybe negativity online, backlash when you're doing things, you're doing webinars, people jumping in the chat, you put out content, people just got to just, just be, we live in a society nowadays where it's just like, it's just so much people are just so many haters, it's like, look, all you're trying to do is build a business and do your own thing, but no matter what you're doing, I done a podcast with obviously, Rick and, and I was talking to him about this, and, he's educating people on how to get a job. And if you read some of the comments, you'll still have people saying, one of the things that was quite funny, it looks like Agent 47, from the game Hitman. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That did make me chuckle, yeah. But, other things were, oh yeah, but, we're not all like you. Oh, we're not. It's like, well, hang on a minute. I'm trying to help you get a job. Like what more can I possibly do? So, you could be, trying to find the cure for cancer. Like, you're still going to get some people, no matter what, talking shit, ultimately, like you can't get away from it. So what's your experience been like with that, and how have you dealt with that?
Oh, yeah, I've had loads.
Yeah?
I've had loads. I mean, the biggest one, I'm not being funny, is where I was born. Not exactly born in the most popular nationality on the planet, am I? But you'd never think it speaking to me, because I sound like I'm from London. So that's, that's a big, I've had lots of abuse about that, loads. But I tell you how you deal with it, right? You deal with it. No one more successful than you is ever going to hate on you. Ever. Like, do you see, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg hating on Bezos? Oh yeah, look, yeah, Amazon sucks. Yeah, yeah, you just put out a crap product. Oh, your numbers are down this quarter. Loser. Doesn't happen. So that's the first thing. No one ever more successful than you is ever gonna, hate on you or give you any kind of stuff. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I'll tell you why people hate. Because it makes them feel better about themselves. Think about it. Anytime you've ever seen somebody achieve something that you want but maybe don't have, what's the first human reaction to that?
Jealousy.
And you search for an excuse why you don't have it, and that leads to hate. And that's all it is. It's just a self-defense mechanism. So listen, I'd say if you don't have enough haters, you're doing something wrong. You need more haters. Let them hate. They're only hating because they're jealous, because it's a self-defense mechanism. It's an excuse as to why they're not in your position.
Yeah. Okay. Love it. Look, we're nearly at the end, yeah? We're not far away, yeah? But before we get there, question for you. Around the internet, on, places like Instagram, you see people that are, they may or may not be successful or whatever, but they're flossing the glitz, the glamour. All you've got to do is, when you make money, this is like, put your feet up, life is good. I've got the supercar outside, I've got this, I've got the chicks, I've got the bling, I've got everything. Oh man, like this is it. This is bliss. I'm living the life.
Supposedly.
Is that real? Is that real?
Here's what you gotta ask yourself. So remember when you was at school and you always had that one guy who was, always like, oh yeah, I can get any girl. I get lots of girls. I got all these numbers, this, that, and the other, right? You remember that? There was always that.
There's always that guy.
Always that guy, or, I'm sure there's a female equivalent, right? And we always boast about our pain points. And let me give you a better example, okay? There was always that one guy who's, oh yeah, I'm making lots of money. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and he makes out like he's making loads of money. But time goes by and you find out actually he's not making no money. So what people shout about is usually what their biggest problem is. So if you have to shout about your cars and your bling and whatever else, well, clearly I kind of look at that and be like, all right, clearly this person's obviously not doing that well, because they need to shout about it, because then you're seeking external validation. I don't need to, I've got all those things untold. I don't need to shout out about it. When I bought my first supercar, did I release a video about it on the first day? It took me 6 months because I wasn't that bothered. I bought it for me, because it made me feel special when I'm driving it, when I'm in it. I don't need external validation and likes and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, online, these things have become marketing tools, and everyone assumes that just because somebody has a Lambo and maybe he's gone to Dubai a couple of times, or has some bling, they're successful, and that couldn't be further from the truth, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because one thing of what I've experienced is, I remember the days, right? Going to loads of events and like, yeah, I want to be successful, and like the pictures.
I'll tell you a story, a real quick one.
Yeah, go for it.
So on that note, and this is how you are, listen, I don't argue with anyone. I don't argue with anyone. But I bought my first Rolex because I thought I needed to have it so people think I'm successful. So I think everyone goes through that stage. Where you're seeking a little bit of external validation. I think everyone goes through that stage.
Yeah, no doubt. But I would see like, all of the pictures, like, geez, and you're there, you're in the audience, yeah. You're in the audience, you're looking up, you see the pictures, you're seeing a yacht, you're seeing the car, you're seeing everything, the lifestyle, everything looks so sunny, yeah. Like, it's always sunshine, right? But then when you kind of get there, and you experience that, it becomes very normal. And it's almost like, well, hang on a minute. I don't feel no real difference. You know, like I still got challenges. I still might have this. It might be different types of challenges, but it's not like what I thought it would be as per what was sold, that it's like the other side of the rainbow, the other side of the rainbow. Once I get on the other side of the rainbow, that's it. So I felt once achieving a level of success, that sunny rainbow, you get the supercar, now I'm supposed to be, I'm now supposed to be happy every day of my life. I didn't feel that way. The novelty wore off. So I almost felt like as if the pictures and everything of what we see, that, life's so, oh, geez, it's not real. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I think I agree. Look, money does make you happy, but temporarily. Because then you got to go searching for true happiness, and that comes from within. Being content, being happy with who you are, where you are and what you have around you. But if you're broke, you're never going to have the time to even search for that. So I think, they're all good temporal things, but they fade away. Like, they make you feel special and make you feel happy temporarily, but once that's passed, then what? Like I tell you what makes me feel happy is my kids, my family. That is true happiness. That is purpose. That is fulfillment. Having a supercar or whatever it may be, or bling, or, whatever, that's nice. And listen, I love my toys. Don't get me wrong. You know me, I love my toys, right? But I understand that they only make me temporarily happy. What, a new car, right? 3 months, 6 months? But my family, children, and just being happy within myself. I tell you what else makes me happy: freedom. I am completely free. Completely free. That gives me the greatest satisfaction. More so than the bling and the toys. Because there's a whole nother conversation, but it's how you achieve the things as well. Because if you're hustling like crazy just to afford the Lambo, just so you can look successful, you're crazy. Like, you crazy. Like, like what for? I believe the number one goal for most people, the first big goal should be to achieve financial independence.
Yeah.
That's the first big goal. But before that, like, you need to create your own economy. You need to be independent from everything else that's going on. You need to have your own way of making money. You need to have your own ecosystem. That is the biggest thing, because I've seen people get laid off. I got laid off. It's not nice. But what happens is people build up a lifestyle based on their salary. Salary goes up, the expenses go up. Then they get laid off. They've got, maybe kids, maybe no kids, bills, mortgages, rent, whatever else, and they have no other income. And that, leads a spiral down, a whole nother way. So yeah, listen, you got to search for true happiness within. That's kind of it. But I think you will never get to that stage until you become financially independent.
Yeah.
And you buy all the things that you want.
Yeah.
Because growing up, I couldn't have a lot. Like, I remember going to charity shops and car boot sales every weekend. It was always like, money don't grow on trees, this, that, and the other. And I think it got so deep inside of me. Now that I can have pretty much anything I want, I do have it. But I've bought so many things for myself, and it's the same thing every time. You're in anticipation. You're excited to get it. Yes, it's great. You get it. It's fantastic. It feels good. 3 months go by. It just fades. It just fades.
Yeah.
Then you get another thing thinking it's the other thing. And then that fades.
Yeah.
And you get another thing. So you gotta, gotta.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said freedom, because becoming financially free, what it gives you is freedom. And that freedom to be able to have fantastic experiences with your family, go on holidays, do this, do that. Obviously, I'm always taking my little girl on holiday, just me and her, she's 10 years old at the moment, and we just always just go like, probably maybe 3-4 times a year, and being able to just do that, just me and her, is beautiful, is an absolutely wonderful experience. And obviously, the experiences. So I agree, I'll never knock it. It's nice to have nice things. However, ultimately, the freedom and the experiences is what it's really all about. Yeah, we do agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. And some people are more materialistic than others.
Yeah.
All my friend circles sound very materialistic, and I'd agree with that. But I tell you where I think it comes from: childhood, because I couldn't have the things I wanted to have, and I think it got so deep rooted inside me. It's like this anger. It's like, what do you mean I can't have it? So now, if I want something, I'll get it. But I've got over that. Now that I've kind of bought everything that I've wanted and, all the rest of it, now it's about freedom. It's about independence. That is true happiness. Waking up when you want, doing what you want. If I want to go and pick up my kids from school, one of my big goals, one of my big visions was way before I even had kids. I said, I want to be able to take my kids to school and pick them up from school any day I want. And I can do that. But it's just something as simple as that. And I think freedom is
where it's at.
Is where it's at. Absolutely.
Okay.